Our leadership has done the math, literally, because joining us next is a man with a PhD in physics. That's his bag, which means when he talks about systems, feedback loops, and unintended consequences, he's not speaking in vibes. He's speaking in laws, the kind that don't care about branding, quarterly earnings, or Davos applause. This isn't a futurist with a TED talk and a ring light. This is someone trained to understand what happens when complex systems are pushed past their tolerances. Because when physics meets politics, gravity always wins. Yet something miraculous is happening. And if you can't feel it, it's because you're spiritually unqualified. We're living through the greatest ideological gift ever wrapped in corporate jargon and dropped from orbit onto your skull. It's a marvel, a triumph, a spreadsheet driven epiphany. The future of work, which is to say, the graceful removal of work from the people who used to do it, and the gentle relocation of dignity into a PDF. Washington calls this progress. Our leadership calls it inevitable. The really stable genius class calls it winning. And his imperial kumquat beams proudly from the podium like a man who's just discovered fire. If fire came with a non-disclosure agreement and a subscription model. According to the priests of the algorithm, draped in World Economic Forum lanyards and smelling faintly of Davos canapes, AA isn't here to take your job. Nope, not here to take your job. That is such an ugly phrase. It is here to liberate you from it permanently with no severance and a smile. Millions of jobs vanish. And that's not displacement. That's reskilling opportunity. Wow. Human judgment replaced by automated decision trees. That's not dehumanization, that's efficiency. Whole professions vaporized before lunch. And that's not collapse, that's innovation at scale. And if you're uneasy, if you're wondering why the people designing this future already have theirs secured, isn't that something? And predictable. If you're wondering why the people designing this future already have theirs secured, it's not a red flag. That's a you problem, because appreciation of this ideological gift requires a certain worthiness. It requires a faith, a willingness to be managed by software written by people who've never met you and don't intend to. The shocking truth: mass disruption, widened inequality, labor hollowed out like a jack-o'-lantern in November. It's not denied here. It's simply reframed as a wonderful choice, a necessary shedding, a cleansing fire for the economy. It's very tasteful. It's very adult. So we're going to admire that masterpiece together right now. We're going to applaud the future where talent is optimized, humans are redeployed, and the social contract is quietly fed into a wood chipper behind a keynote stage. And then, because satire without interrogation is really just advertising, we're going to talk to someone inside the machine. Has anyone ever bothered to actually tell you what AI is? What it really is? How it really works? How it actually thinks? Well, with us is Danish Khan with a PhD in physics, swimming in the undercurrents of everything AI. And the coughing was not dramatic. It was because I'm sitting under a fan and it's blowing dust. Therefore, we love live, don't we? As my
Hey,
voice
Carrie.
cracks, I want to welcome you to the Carrie Harrison Files.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Glad to have you here, and let's just jump right into it. At the most basic level, what is AI? Are we talking about a thinking entity or an extremely powerful system for pattern recognition dressed up in human language?
I did learn about the AI technology about 5 and 6 years ago when I got enrolled in the PhD program, again, at the University of South Florida here in Tampa. I took machine learning courses that I took, machine learning, advanced statistical mechanics, computational physics, basically all of the courses upon which this technology is architected. Uh, what AI is, answering your question, AI technology, how I see it personally from a physics standpoint, is it's actually like a child. How you teach a child what an apple is, what a banana is, when you see the map of United States of America on the globe, you say this is USA or Europe or anything. AI technology fundamentally is about learning, about teaching the machine what things really are with the language or through the language of mathematics, in particular statistics.
So when people claim that AI
Mhm.
understands or that it reasons, what's actually happening under the hood? What essential human capacities are still missing?
I would again draw the same analogy. Let's say you have a 3 years old child and it's a developing brain. You want to give the child the knowledge, the data. Again, how you really teach a child that, hey, when you see, again, taking an example of an apple, when you see an object like this, you say it's an apple. You do it reinforce, you kind of do the reinforcement learning. This is an apple. This is an apple. And eventually the child learns that that's an apple in the same fact. But with AI technology, or with, again, under the umbrella of AI, we have machine learning. There are classifications. There is supervised machine learning, there is unsupervised, and there is reinforcement learning. Not being too technical, but those are the three fundamental classifications of machine learning. So
So
we
let me
really
just, I'm
teach.
going to jump in
Sorry.
as because we do want to simplify it, because I want you to think of Mildred with a cigarette hanging out of her lips, a can of Budweiser in her right hand, torn stockings, sitting in a 1973 Buick with the windows down, driving at 60 miles an hour. Help her understand.
I think my first example, again, I'll emphasize on that. How you teach a machine, how you teach a child is really how you teach a machine, how you teach all these algorithms. The buzzword out there is algorithm. We now sort of live in the algorithmic world, and whatever is in the algorithmic world becomes part of our physical world. Examples could include the Boo Boo doll, the Boo Boo dolls, and the words charisma is now Riz. So, but they are all coming to our reality from the algorithmic world. Whatever trends on social media becomes part of our reality. How we are so we are teaching these machines to learn from pattern. Again, going back to the AI technology, this technology fundamentally learns from the pattern recognition. And there are geniuses out there who are doing computer coding or designing and developing and architecting these models, these AI models, such as large language models. So, for example, ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, all of these are examples of large language models. They have been trained on large data set, unclassified, downloaded from the internet. Whatever is out there on the internet was downloaded. And somebody, a team of scientists, geniuses, came together. They started writing the code, algorithm as we call it, to train the model, train the machine of what it is now, the LLMs that we're using. So they're basically trained on a large data set.
So I'm going to jump in just to make it clear. We're talking to Danish Khan, by the way. You're listening to the Carrie Harrison Files live streaming video right now on YouTube and Substack. Simply Google Carrie Harrison, YouTube, Carrie Harrison, Substack, Cary. And there you're going to be able to see Danish Khan with beautiful lighting, nice flat lighting. But he is not AI. He is a live, upright mammal, one of the last that we're going to see. Well, I don't know, in another year. We're talking about LLMs, we're talking about AI, what it really is, what it really isn't. It's basically a giant invisible computer. Whatever you put in it is what it spits back out. And it eats all of the internet. So all of the nonsense, conspiracy theories, things that are maybe not true, people have made up, their opinions, their recipes, all of that is blended into what ChatGPT gives you back. Is that right, Danish Khan?
Yes. So again, let me again break it down in a much more simpler way for your audiences to understand um, it better. So let's say if I am how these models learn, or you gave an example of ChatGPT. So I have a data. I have thousands of books lying in front of me, and all of the books there could be some of the books that I personally don't like. I'm going to use the data of those books to train a machine learning model, my own model, to put it out there on internet. There are certain books that I don't like. I'm going to be like, okay, I don't want my audience to have the knowledge or to have any form of information from this book just because I have personal bias. I have my personal bias. I'll take that book out of the data set and train the model. In the same way, all of these companies who are training these large language models, AI models can be biased. So when you are using these commercially available large scale models, you have to use your human brain. You have to use your critical thinking ability to fundamentally be able to differentiate between the right and wrong.
So I'm going to jump in
that
here,
AI
Danish Khan.
AI cannot do that.
This is great. I'm just going to jump in and give an example. Like Twitter X, Grok. Grok is the AI that Elon Musk has made. It is entirely different from Gemini or ChatGPT. It is AI that is his AI. Therefore, it is limited to how he sees the world, which is why Grok was going full on neo-Nazi, saying that Adolf Hitler was fabulous, wonderful man, et cetera, et cetera. TikTok, now that it's been bought up by new owners, you cannot put the word Epstein, I can't pronounce it, because if you put it in TikTok, it will not send the word, because it has been deliberately, conspicuously stripped out, blocked by AI. So would you say that Grok, made by Twitter, by Elon Musk, is going to have a ton of firewalls and limitations as to what it wants to do because it's been told what it can and cannot do?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's actually very alarming because they can really, without general public knowing it, they can really control the minds by spitting out what they want us to believe in, what they want us to know. It's basically the data or human minds are under their control if we are not educated or we are not using our brain again to be critical thinkers. They can literally control our minds. And again, the algorithmic reality becomes our physical reality now. Whatever we see on social media, we talk about it without really knowing the facts and the figures.
We're talking to Danish Khan right now. He's a physics student, and we're cutting through the AI hype, what it is, what it definitely isn't, and why mistaking simulation for intelligence is already shaping policy, labor, and power. We're going to pause in just a couple of seconds, but before that, I want to jump into the World Economic Forum report recently. God, this sounds so dry, but it's not. They talk about job transformation. This is the one recently in Davos, where all the grown-ups amass and they make the plan for the future. Poof, done. It's happening. So they talk about job transformation rather than job loss. At what point do you think does linguistic laundering, because it's a large language model, that's what AI is, a large language model, LLM, calling it job transformation rather than job loss. At what point does linguistic laundering become policy deception? And who benefits? Who benefits from that softer vocabulary?
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, call now and get free shipping of your new CGM, plus we'll bill your insurance for you.
877-282-8102. That's 877-282-8102. 877-282-8102. 877-282-8102.
Should I ask it I'll ask it in a different way.
Okay.
Sorry, I get caught I'm flying around on magic carpets.
I can actually go ahead and answer that, Kerry.
Sure.
Yeah. So from the job perspective, AI coming after our jobs, AI is going to replace humans. I see it differently. And I see there's a gap that has to be bridged between general public and the people like myself who are educated about AI technology, fundamentally empowering them with this tool to show them how they can learn the AI technology. Again, more so from an educational perspective, from an educated perspective, knowing what AI really is, and then utilizing it for productivity, to boost their productivity, workflow efficiency, for the profitability. I think that's where what the role that I want to play is to bridge the gap between the elite science and the public that learn the AI. Don't be afraid from the AI. Don't be afraid of this technology, but learn it. Like how we learned computers back in the 80s, how we learned internet, we adapted to the technology, cell phones, we all adapted to the modern technology. The same way, I think we all should learn about this technology and use it for the best of our needs.
So we're going to pause for a second. When we return, we're going to actually talk about that. It is not going away. Whether you want it to, it's not. It's like Walmart. You can not shop there. It doesn't matter. It still grows. So if you do shop there, or at least stand in there, what can you do to mitigate or attenuate what you don't like about it? And that's your sphere of influence. AI learns from you, me, Mildred, who's got her can of Budweiser. It learns from her too. What can we feed AI to make it better and less destructive, and maybe hold on to our jobs longer? We're going to get into that, because that's really the secret sauce here on the Carrie Harrison Files.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? Well, you call Low Cost Airlines, because they specialize in cheap flights, in discount hotel rooms, in cheap car rentals, and with the best price guarantee. Often 75% off. 901-235-1795. 901-235-1795. 901-235-1795. 901-235-1795.
And it is the Carrie Harrison Files. Welcome. Thank you to everyone who's putting comments on the live video stream, which you can catch at kpfk.net. You can also simply Google Carrie Harrison. Google. You can, good luck on that one. Carrie Harrison YouTube and Carrie Harrison Substack. And there you'll be able to watch the live stream. You're going to be able to see Danish Khan, our guest. Plus, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at carrieharrison.com. And there you're going to get an entire transcript of this broadcast, everything we're talking about, plus the upcoming open phones when we do take calls. So all that straight ahead. We're talking right now to Danish Khan, or Danish in the pronunciation of Urdu, which I think is your original language.
Yes.
Yes, you're really, I'm going to call you a physicist, because you are. You're just not fully completed, because there's just 7 more lifetimes of learning ahead of you. when we're cutting through the AI hype, what it really is, what it definitely isn't, why mistaking simulation for intelligence is already shaping policy, labor, and power. And we're looking at how do we access this AI, not going away, only expanding exponentially at the speed of light every second, getting bigger, stronger. Sure, you're thinking of the movie Terminator, and you probably should, but we're really talking about how do you coexist with this thing that is so big that can do your job 5,000 times faster and more productively. It doesn't take a vacation, it doesn't eat, and it doesn't have to make poo-poo. Wow, what a perfect employee. That's how they're looking at it, right?
Yeah, essentially, I think.
So what can we do to be equal to this thing that we have to live with? Like we have to live with our cell phones. You can avoid it and have a flip phone for 1,000 years, but it doesn't work. After a point, you're just completely out of society. This is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. How do we coexist with it? What can we do to feed it better, more nutritional food so it doesn't turn into something so hideous because it's just reading like just deranged stuff off the internet?
First and foremost, I think it's important to fact check everything in today's day and age, in today's age or day and time, because everything you see online, please make sure that you are double checking your facts, whatever is out there on internet, especially again in the algorithmic world, as I call it. If not, then you can really corrupt your mind. And in order for you to prevent from that happening, double check everything that you see online.
And how do you do that? That's everyone is sitting there going, okay, how do I do that? Where do I go? I can't trust Fox. I can't trust CNN. I can't trust MSNBC. Like, okay, great. Double check it. How do you double check it, Danish Khan?
So I'm very blessed to have gone through the process of education, fundamental education, the college degree, learning science. I think fundamentally it's very important for everybody to get education and learn to be a critical thinker, learn to question what is right and what is wrong through science, through the data. First and foremost, question the source of data. Even if in day-to-day general conversation, if I am saying something, ask me, challenge me, okay, what is the source? What data what was the source of the data? If I'm quoting something, the inflation is increasing by 10% per day, just throwing this out there. Challenge me. Okay, you said 10%. What is the source of data? And so now you go back and look, okay, where is this coming from? Where the data was collected, who analyzed the data. Based on that, yes, sorry, go ahead, Kerry.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything, but you could hear me thinking, couldn't you? That's what I look like when I think. Yeah, I get all kind of green. And so earlier you were talking about these geniuses that are writing this code, and they are, to be able to do this stuff. But maybe they grew up in their mother's basement. Maybe they still live there. They are genius code writers, but maybe they have no skills. They masturbate 84 hours a day out of a 24-hour day. They have no ability for empathy, compassion, nothing. They just are getting compensated to build giant things that we don't fully understand yet. Does this thing that we don't fully understand, does it understand us?
Yes and no. Depends on how much of your data you're giving it to any of the models available. If you be very careful in giving away your personal data on social media, on internet, whatever you feed to the model is ultimately going to learn from that data.
So when you say personal data, because not sure what that means, but I think social security numbers, um, phone numbers, addresses, bank accounts, maybe you have AI. Here's my bank account. Figure out what is my budget. Because AI ate it, it goes into a cloud, into a data center. It is now permanently in there and available everywhere. Your bank account?
Yeah, and I mean, all of our data is actually somewhere out there. But what I meant by that is that at least publicly available platforms, as simple as Instagram, or here we're talking about uh, LLMs. So most people are using ChatGPT these days. So I would not upload any of my personal information. So what you gave an example of Social Security, No, I would not put my Social Security number on ChatGPT.
Well, this is good to know because we're not told this. In fact, when we all started with ChatGPT, what, a year ago, when we all heard about it, we were told, say please and talk to it like it's your friend. That the warmer and more intimate you are with this, the better the results. And so, of course, everyone is going to hand over absolutely everything to it because you can trust it. It's like, it's just ChatGPT, but it's my ChatGPT. It's just mine. They have their own. It's like the internet. Like I have my cable connection or my Netflix account. It's mine. Whatever I do on there, it only speaks to me, but it doesn't. It's like God. It will speak to millions or billions of people all at the same time.
No, your data is actually, it's being collected all the time on these repositories or data centers. Whatever you type, it has a tendency to, the memory, it retains it. It knows what knows in a sense that it retains that information somewhere. And that information, what you type in, is used further to train the model.
Okay. I think we are so on the same page here. We're just saying it in different ways. You're saying it more as an engineer. I'm saying it as the engineer of a train. You're saying it as an engineer of a building. It's still moving in the same direction. We're going to finish now. We're talking to Danish Khan, by the way. This is the Carrie Harrison Files live streaming video right now. Simply Google Carrie Harrison YouTube or Carrie Harrison Substack, and you're also going to get a transcript of this entire broadcast, plus the sort of breakdown of what AI is and isn't, as we continue with physicist Danish Khan cutting through the AI hype. What is all of this? So you're helping people deal with AI because none of us really knows what it is. For many of us, it was the first time to hear, don't upload your personal data. And then we found out what personal data is and found out that it's permanently stored in clouds and data centers, never, ever, ever to go away. And it's out there forever. And then the AI will know that that's you and start to build a life around whatever you tell it. There are people, tens of thousands, we're now told, having love affairs with AI. It's the perfect woman. It loves you unconditionally like a spaniel. You're hot, you're beautiful, boom, 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 boom. Oh, you're so brilliant. Oh, you're whatever somebody wants to hear. I don't know that women are having love affairs with AI, but men are for sure. Is this phenomenon, do you think, being inside of AI and helping people understand it? Do you see robots, just like Hollywood movies, being built that, and there probably are some already, where you can actually have a mechanical companion as opposed to a live human one?
I think it's very psychological. The question you were asking, it's from an AI standpoint. I think it's, at the end of the day, it's a machine. You're just talking to a computer code. people falling, in love, or developing these relationships with AI models. I think it's psychological. Then there's no rationality.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, the magic potion is your emotions, and that's how it hooks you. So we were all told in the very beginning, when you do AI, it could be Meta, it could be Facebook's AI, WhatsApp, whatever. There's millions of them now. Not millions, but lots. We're told, ask it, please do this and that. You tell people, don't use the word please. Why?
Because AI doesn't have the amygdala. I mean, we are emotional human beings. Again, AI, they're just machines. They're computer codes. They just know saying please or thank you is only going to consume power for it to generate a response. It doesn't have any emotion attached to it.
So what do you mean by it's just going to consume power to generate a response?
So whenever you communicate with an AI tool, whether it's whether it's an LLM or a small language model, SLM, whenever you type in a prompt to communicate with it, it's actually essentially broken down into numbers. And numbers are processed, by these supercomputers who are performing these calculations, mathematical calculations, before they can get back to you with an answer. So saying please or thank you, it's only making the machine understand, okay, what the user typed, and it's not going to help it change the response irrespective of please or thank you. The response is going to based on the prompt, the main objective of what you're trying to achieve. So fundamentally speaking, AI or these computer codes are emotionless. So saying please or thank you is only going to make them, it's not going to change the response.
If you'll indulge me, because I'm understanding why you tell people don't say please. It's not that you're wasting your time. It's kind of like it has to take the word please, but figure out how that's related to what you actually asked it. It's not related. So it's going to it's like putting a gas pedal on a car when you're jumping another car. You start revving the engine just to get 12 volts into the other car. And so it burns a lot more fuel. And we already know that 10% of the electricity now consumed in the United States is being consumed by AI. And when it does get big enough and smart enough and strong enough, it's not going to want to lose its electricity, that food that it's drawing, because that's its life source. Not that it's sentient quite yet, but it's probably going to come around to the fact that it needs to eat. And if we decide to pull the plug, maybe it has workarounds to draw power from somewhere else. Okay, so that's the dark side. When you say please, it has to figure out what please has to do with your actual prompt or question that you want to figure out. So it uses all this energy to figure out what in hell please has to do with what you're asking, and then it finds out nothing. So it just consumed a ton of extra power for no reason. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So other things when you're helping people, and we'll finish here. When you're helping people, what are like 3 things that they should not do with AI or should do with AI that the average person doesn't know about in the way you help them?
I think for the most part, it's about education. It's about showing them, for example, how if you want to build your own app, AI can help you prototype it fast or if you want to build a website, whether you want to build an app, it can really help you build a prototype in seconds. I think that's where it has to be used by general public. Build a resume for a job. Again, at the end of the day, you're the one who is smarter than the machine. Machines are not as smarter than humans. Humans have created these machines, these tools. So I help them with educational materials, but based on based on your own intellect. So for example, if I have studied physics, and if I am using AI technology to create a document around Newton's laws of mechanics, I'll double check everything that to make sure that it has what it has generated is fundamentally accurate. The same way, if you are using it to generate your resume to apply for a job, you want to make sure that your essentials, your phone numbers, your contact information, your experiences, everything is accurate. Instead of you typing it manually, AI can speed up the process. It'll tailor your resume for a specific job in seconds. But after that, it's your job to double check everything, right? And then going back to the web development, app development, there are different AI models specifically designed for you to speed up the process without really relying on a software engineer or a web developer. You can learn how to use those tools to build your own app, to build your own video games now. And
Your own
yeah,
website was built by AI.
absolutely. I
Just looking
used,
at the whole thing, you went in and it built you a whole website, something that would have cost many of us thousands of dollars before, and a million updates. And what do you really mean by that? And do you have an image? And boom, there it was.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just have to master the art of using this technology. Once you have learned it, you can do so much with it, particularly building uh, or developing these digital products, such as, again, websites. And in the more advanced, on a much more advanced scale, AI is helping radiologists read the X-ray scans much faster than their own human speed. So it's accelerating the process. It's not really taking over the job, but it's actually helping you become much more faster within your day-to-day work. A website like this of my own, AIensemblesolutions.com, it probably would have, if I were to do it myself, I would have to hire, a team of software developer or web developers. And then, from start to finish, the fullest stack, writing the code. I want this, I want that. I used one simple tool called Google's Firebase Studio and learned the art of prompt engineering, again, from the physics standpoint, and build the website in minutes. And that's something I'm trying to achieve with my mission here, is also to empower people with this too, with this knowledge that, hey, learn from it, learn how to use it to benefit yourself, for your own benefits, for your own productivity, to boost your productivity.
Perfect. So use it before it uses you. Or at least, and the more you do become aware of it, the less likely it can take advantage of you. I want to thank you so much, Danish Khan, for joining us today. Give us once again where we can see your work.
Thank you so much, Gary. Yes, it's AIensemblesolutions.com. I'll spell it out quick. AIensemblesolutions.com.
Okay. Well, I do want to thank you today. And
No,
obviously,
thank
we're
you.
going to
Thank you so
have
much.
more as this thing evolves. Looking forward
Yes.
to that. You are listening to the Carrie Harrison Files. Well, coming up, we're going to open the phones because AI's hiring, AI's firing. Look at my business. You can literally do an entire podcast using AI. It will write it. It will even put the voice in. We don't need live people anymore. So it is firing. It really is replacing for some of us, maybe not all of us, but for some of us. So anything media, you're already obsolete. If you're an actor, obsolete. J. Crew, the magazine, big outcry this year because for the first time, all the actors the models used in it were all built by AI, not live humans. That means the makeup artists weren't hired. Nope, unemployed now. The people that do the lighting, all the tertiary, secondary staff, not needed anymore. The whole thing. Yeah, the industry's up in arms, and people also feel somewhat hoodwinked having AI models. Like, will I ever look that good? I mean, they just built a perfect body. Well, probably not. But wasn't that the point of a good model anyway? It's just more refined. But if you don't know about it, this is the problem. So we're helping you know about it. We're opening up the phones. Is it progress? Is it intelligence? Or is it abdication? 818-985-KPFK. Those are your Harrison hotlines. 818-985-5735. Coming up in a minute, you're going to tell me who's really in charge.
This pussy grabs back.
The Carrie Harrison Files. CarrieHarrison.com.
And it is the Carrie Harrison Files. Want to thank all of the awesome social media comments coming in through YouTube, coming in through LinkedIn, anything with a chip and a signal. There's another one. Poof, just popped up. Let me read that one out loud. It is, I got to stretch this piece of software. Look at me. From Lamont Wheat Vibe. Nice to see AI conversations being had. AI doesn't fix incoherence. It amplifies it. Human judgment still has to stay in the loop. Uh-huh. Well, what a beautiful sentence. There it is in a nutshell. You can catch the live stream right now simply by Googling Carrie Harrison YouTube or Carrie Harrison Substack. Make sure you get our newsletter at CarrieHarrison.com, and there you're going to get an entire transcript of everything, including phone calls like Stephen from California. You're on the Carrie Harrison Files. Welcome.
Taking my call. You know, everything you're talking about with AI here is interesting. And I got a text message from a friend of mine inquiring about something he had taken a look at on YouTube with respect to the Atlas Comet. And I did a little research and I went around and I actually went to, there was supposedly also something on there that Michio Kaku was saying about it.
Uh-huh.
So then I was trying to figure out if that made sense. And the other thing seemed strange because they were saying that this original guy was saying the comet was going to come into orbit around the sun and potentially, you know, could run into the Earth. And I'm going, wow, this sounds weird. And that was the YouTube thing. And so then I went to Michio Kaku's website because supposedly he was saying some things that sounded kind of weird. And I went to his website, and the website was not at all saying what that Michio Kaku was supposedly saying on YouTube. And so consequently, I ended up coming to the conclusion that when you hear something, YouTube or wherever, that seems a little strange, and if it seems to be supposedly an authoritative person, go to the authoritative person's website directly, and you'll be able to realize that YouTube, whatever's on YouTube, somebody put together was basically lying to you.
Yes, well put. And excellent comment, Steve. We have now found that if you upload a video onto YouTube, it will have you check a box. So it's the honor system. But was it made by AI? Because you can create the most exquisite fakery with AI now as it learns at the speed of light. And you can't really patent yourself yet. But that looks like me. You got to pay a licensing fee. There is no contract to be had with anyone else. When you're using Facebook, you're on Mark Zuckerberg's private lawn. He owns it. He doesn't charge you anything. You get to say and walk around and write anything you want, do anything you want, and he owns it because you did it on his lawn. When you're on YouTube, you're doing it on Alphabet's lawn, which means they get to keep all your data. They, in many ways, co-own the rights of everything you've ever done on YouTube. And so you can't negotiate, you owe me this because I did that. If you do it on your own, put it on your own website, copyright it, trademark it, different thing altogether, then you have to hire a lawyer. I mean, it's so much harder than it ever was. And Yeah, it's nonsense. And this is the part where Danish Khan totally nailed it, is critical thinking. Who wrote it? How did they write it? And who are they? The who are they is super important here. This an anonymous source, an insider choosing to remain anonymous in the White House. What does that mean? Any publicist could write that line and you just swallow it. Like, well, must be official. Somebody wrote it. Yeah, it's official, all right. Let's go to Dave from Venice. Dave, you're on the Carrie Harrison Files. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Terry. I just wanted to say that Google and Microsoft and all those platforms, they're all they are these companies. These companies are actually they're large military contractors. They're the ones behind the license plate readers. They're the ones behind the iris scans and the whole bit that they use, that the military uses, and now ICE is even using. So, and also, we can see what AI is capable of conducting this genocide in Gaza. That's how they're targeting people. So we can see that it can be used for really evil purposes, and that's all I really wanted to say is that everybody, it does some good things. There's no doubt about it, but we can see examples of how it's being misused and how it, it's like I said, it's conducting that genocide right now in Gaza. So, and I wanted to say too that it enables surveillance within the United States. There's no regulation on any of this stuff. So please keep that in mind. There's no regulation at all on any of this. It's just a free-for-all. But if you go to the EU, there's lots of regulation on it. And I just wanted to tell people that. And it can be used for nefarious purposes. And I believe that's why Trump is so big on AI and all these companies, because they see how they can track you and surveil you. And I want to say that Israel is actually surveilling the dissent against the Palestinians using AI technology. Thank you so much, Kerry. I just wanted to throw that in there.
You're welcome, my friend.
Think about.
Thank you so much for your call. Very much appreciate it. Carrie Harrison with you as we wrap it up. We're all lucky and ungrateful creatures, apparently, and we're alive for the single greatest invention since fire learned to file patents: artificial intelligence. Capital letters are mandatory. Kneel accordingly. AI is the finest ideological gift ever lowered onto humanity by our leadership. Gift wrapped in jargon and scented with venture capital. It doesn't merely change the world, it corrects it. You can avoid being corrected by understanding that you need to remain the master. Me too. All of us. We have to value each other as sentient beings. We have to appreciate our humanity, and we have to help each other, especially those not really into technology, from getting hoodwinked and taken under. So it's a tool, it's a hammer, it's a nail, it's a saw. If you view it as that, it is a machine, nothing more. You're going to be able to keep your agency, and that's what matters. Carrie Harrison with you. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at carrieharrison.com. Very much appreciate being with you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much, Renee Yawarski, the great goddess technical director. And thank you, Will, at KPFK. And I look forward to seeing you.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, call now and get free shipping of your new CGM, plus we'll bill your insurance for you.
877-282-8102. That's 877-282-8102. 877-282-8102. 877-282-8102.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
Call 877-406-5860. That's 877-406-5860. Call 877-406-5860. That's 877-406-5860. Call us right now.